Ahoy hoy, I'm Planetwalk and welcome back to the 12 Pseudoscientists of 2024, which I should have finished ages ago, but here we are. Today we are on to Pseudoscientists number 3 and 2. Yes, we have 2 pseudoscientists in this one today. Now the 2 people that we're talking about are 2 very different people, yet despite that, I often hear a very similar defense for both of them. It's clearly satire. And you know, looking at each of them, you might think that they have a point. I mean, firstly, who would take this seriously?
And they said, you've actually isolated time within a magnet. I said, yeah, time is longer within a magnet than what it is within light.
The assumption that a lot of people make with Nigel Cheesy Hands is that because the things that he's saying are so ridiculous, therefore it must be a joke. Now, on the surface of it, that makes complete sense. However, I have been listening to flat earthers for years now, and they progressively say more and more ridiculous stuff. And they can't all be doing a bit. Sometimes the stuff that they will say is just as wild or as incomprehensible as the kind of stuff that Nigel Cheesy Hands would say, and yeah, a lot of people think all flat earthers are joking too. However, what about the other pseudoscientist of the day, pseudoscientist number 3? What's his deal?
But remember, this is just for fun. Don't take this too seriously. I'm just spinning together a little bit of wizardry and magic for your entertainment.
Okay, well that's pretty cut and dry then. He's clearly joking here. It's not meant to be serious. It's satire. And to support this point further, we can take a look at another video where he essentially says the same thing.
And before I get started, remember these videos are just for fun. Don't take them too seriously. You know me, I like to just give my unique spin on these stories. So, what the hell are crop circles?
So it's pretty obvious here that he's joking. I mean, we can debate whether Nigel Cheesy Hands is joking or not, but this is pretty clear cut. So why is he in the series?
I don't know for sure if the moon landing really happened or if it was all a big lie. I'm not here to prove that either way. All I want to demonstrate in this video is that people have good reason to be skeptical of NASA's claims.
So that is from a video where he talks about if the moon landings are fake. However, something that's notably absent from that video is the disclaimer that we heard earlier. You see, with the other videos, as you're going into them, you're told that you're not supposed to take it seriously. However, with the moon landing one, you're not told that. You are told that there are some people that have good reason to believe that the moon landing was fake. Now, whilst it may seem condescending to be told that you're not supposed to take something seriously, there are a lot of people that will see something, not realize whether it's a joke or not, and go, oh, well, this seems believable to me. That is probably how some people actually become flat earthers, if I'm being completely honest. And there are some people that tell me that I'm actually completely wrong about Nigel Cheesy Hands because Nigel Cheesy Hands is actually a genius who has discovered the secrets of the universe or something.
Oops.
I think we're at a point in time where if someone is trying to satirize something, it is genuinely hard to tell if they believe in that or not, because even the extreme stuff you can say has probably already been said by someone who believes it. Like, it's very easy to take this, for example, as a joke if you've never heard anything like it.
What's 1 and 1? Everybody like yourself turned around and said, oh, it's going to be 2. I said, no, it's not. You got it wrong. So I've put up in the room, on the board, a magnet with a north and a south. And I said, you have 1 north, you have 1 south, but you have 1 magnet. And I went, yeah, so what? What's so crazy about that? So you put another magnet next to it, you've still only got 1 south, 1 north, and 1 magnet. So 1 plus 1 equals 1.
Except, I have actually heard a very similar argument being made to that was made by a flat earther.
Okay, so if I have 1 coffee in my left hand and 1 coffee in my right hand, and I add the coffee in my left hand to the coffee in my right hand, how many coffees do I have in my right hand? Would be still 1 coffee.
Now, in both of these, they're trying to say that maths has gotten things wrong. However, in Nigel's case, he's trying to use it to say that he's figured out things that no one else has figured out before. Now, here's the thing. There is no shortage of people who claim that they're the only person to have figured out something that no one else has figured out before. Ken Wheeler is a prime example of that. We also get that from people like Roger Spur, aka Mudfossil University. Because here's the thing, a lot of people want their little bit of fame to say that they are the one that managed to figure out stuff that no one else could figure out. And the easiest way for some people to do that is to go after something that's really big and well established and say, aha, I've figured out this thing that no one's figured out. It turns out that everything you thought you knew is a lie. And when you're challenging something that's so well established, it's easy to come off as though you're joking, because who would challenge that? Everybody knows that that thing is true. Everyone knows that 1 + 1 = 2, so why would you even challenge that? If you're challenging that, you must be joking, right? Except there are some cases where 1 + 1 can equal 1. Of course, this isn't new knowledge and it doesn't really validate what Nigel Cheesyhands is saying, but there is a case to be made for that. And if you're going to say that because everyone knows something, anyone who goes against that thing that everyone knows must be joking, then you're dismissing every flat earther out there. And I know that there are some flat earthers who genuinely believe that the earth is flat. So is there any way to tell when someone is joking unless they outright state it like Armored Skeptic does? Well, sometimes you can tell when someone is not joking. In the case of Nigel Cheesyhands, he actually has a pretty long history of trying to come up with free energy devices. This is not just something that he decided to do for a joke one day, at least it doesn't seem like it.
Good morning world, it's Marco and Nigel again. Sorry about the shadows, sorry about the glare. But what I want to try and show you here, let's move in. We've got 80 LEDs that are configured in parallel. We have a single LED of a different voltage, of the voltage that is here, and the luminosity, the brightness is identical. It is an infinite supply of lighting for the cost of absolutely nothing. Thank you very much.
Now, if you're wondering how that was made, he doesn't explain it in the video. Now, he also has claimed to have a device which apparently you can output more energy from that device than you put into it. And that is something that Simon Dan has actually gone ahead and debunked because, you know, free energy devices violate the laws of physics. As the joke goes, the hardest part of making a free energy device is hiding the battery. Or if you're making a video of a free energy device, you just have to not show the battery, really. I genuinely do not think that Nigel is joking. He's been at this for years. He even made a website in order to try and sell his PCAMS device, and currently that website is now a personal dietary assistant website for some reason, still involving Nigel. So this is the website here. It's clearly not finished. It has edit site here, which is not something that you'd include in a finished website. It says about personal dietary assistant, and it somehow tries to relate it to a lot of things that Nigel has said. I don't know how, but apparently it does. So yeah, when it comes to people who seem too ridiculous to not be a joke or satire, I'd take a look at how long they've been at it. If they've been at it for a while, then they probably actually do want people to believe what they're saying. But I think that it's also important to remember that not everyone has to be serious in order for someone like me to go ahead and debunk them. Sometimes people will say something not intending for anyone else to believe it, and people will go ahead and believe it anyway. This has happened before when people said that mountains were giant trees. They didn't intend for anyone to actually believe it, but nowadays there are a lot of flat earthers who have forgotten that it was supposed to be a joke, or never knew that it was supposed to be a joke in the first place, and now just believe it. And I think it's very important for, if you're making a video that's not meant to be taken seriously, to say that it's not meant to be taken seriously. Because otherwise, you get stuff like this.
Eventually I had to just come out and say it. Elon Musk and Donald Trump are likely the two people that are going to usher in the beast system. And Elon Musk is likely the person that's going to create the mark of the beast, which everyone will be forced to wear.
You see, that's from a video that he made where he did not say that it was a joke. In fact, he seemed to have a lot to say about Elon Musk and Doge, which I think a lot of people can agree with. However, in the last section of the video, he just goes completely off the rails talking about the Book of Revelations. And look, I can kind of get the point if you want to convince people that Elon Musk is not good and that Donald Trump is not good. some people do think that the end times are near, but I'd rather not play into people's idea of the end times being near. But here's the thing, does Greg himself believe that? And that's something that I can't say, because he's been making a lot of videos in which he does say that he's just making a joke. So maybe this is also a bit. But then there's also people that have suspected for a while that he's not actually joking when he says that he is. You remember that clip that I played earlier? Let me play a bit more of it.
I'm just spinning together a little bit of wizardry and magic for your entertainment. But a lot of what I discuss in this series is true, and it's fun to think about these things in new ways. But if you've gotten this far in the playlist, you must agree by now that there are some pretty enigmatic things about history, and it's totally fair for us to ask at this point, is history a lie?
When you say something like that, right after your disclaimer, it kind of brings into question whether you're actually joking or not. And especially when you do not include the disclaimer in some videos, it can come off to people like you might actually be supporting that conspiracy theory. Especially if you only provide evidence that supports that conspiracy theory. In the moon landing video, he only provided evidence for the moon landing being fake. He didn't provide any counter evidence. Now, if you want to say, well, his very first videos were debunking conspiracy theories, do you really think that he would now support conspiracy theories? Yeah, I have criticized him for spreading conspiracy theories before. Ahoy hoy, I'm Planetwalk, and for the love of God, please stop it. That is Armored Skeptic on Twitter right there in 2019 talking about how there is, quote, literally an organization dedicated to erasing history around the world, end quote. Later that year, he started his History is a Lie series, which seems to carry on that premise. So please do forgive me if I'm just a little bit skeptical of Armored Skeptic saying that it's just a joke and you're not supposed to take it seriously, when there are some indicators that he himself might be taking it seriously. And also, he doesn't say anything specifically that jumps out at me as trying to make a funny, except for trying to say that he's just joking. Like, here's an example of me making a joke, and you can clearly tell that it's a joke. So today, I am going to be attempting to debunk the entirety of mathematics. So I should probably mention all my qualifications, although I do get a new one every 10 minutes. I'll just list the most important ones. So, I have a Bachelor of IT, I have a Diploma in Game Development, I have a Graduate Diploma in Audio Production, I have a PhD in Fluorophism and a PhD in Modified Snipers. I also have a Masters of Magnetology, a BS in BS, I have a horoscope in astrology, I have a PhD in meth, I am a Flat Earth certified expert, and I have 200 hours in Final Fantasy X. Like, the only part of that doesn't really work is people might actually think that I'm trying to say that I have a PhD in math when I was trying to say meth. Maybe they just think that New Zealanders say math that way. But my point is, in that video, I was not being serious. There was clearly a joke there, when I don't see that with Armored Skeptic's videos. Like, if there is a joke in Armored Skeptic's videos, it hits me about the same as when a flat earther says that I'm possessed by demons. It may make me laugh a little, and I will certainly be going, what? But that's about it. The funniness of it is about the same as watching a flat earther speak, and there are plenty of those. So I could just watch Flatzoid if I felt like torturing myself. So yeah, it's very hard to view it as satire, especially when, you know, his video about Elon Musk, a decent portion of that video was making valid points, and then it went off the rails. And that does actually remove another possibility for his videos, because initially it seemed like maybe he was making videos that were meant to be debunked, and he would say that, oh, this is just a joke, so that people didn't go ahead and believe them. His videos at the moment do not give me the vibe of, oh, this is supposed to be debunked, because they don't have a lot to debunk. It's just the crazy bit at the end. So is Armored Skeptic just joking? Is he just making videos that are supposed to be satire? If we take him at his word, for many of those videos, yes. But he has given us reason to not just take him at his word. And we also don't have to. If Armored Skeptic makes a video that is full of misinformation, regardless of whether that's supposed to be a joke or not, you're allowed to debunk it. You're allowed to say, hey, this is wrong and here's why. Armored Skeptic certainly isn't doing that. Nigel Cheesy Hands isn't doing that either. Though, to be fair to Armored Skeptic, he did used to do that. And that goes for anyone else that I might debunk in the future where people are saying, oh, this is just satire. But anyway, leave a like and subscribe, and be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments, as well as who you think is going to be the last pseudoscientist of 2014. 2024. What did I say at the start? I will see you in that video. Between you and me, thank you for watching.